Hello everyone, welcome back to Serie Fantasy Game Week 15 preview video. Really quick turnaround this week compared to others as we have midweek games. We're into December, so this is going to happen a couple times and just means the video's got to be pumped out pretty quick, which is why yesterday I released the review for Game Week 14 before it even ended. I did add a couple points to my score. I ended up getting an assist with Insigne as well, which was nice. So, excuse me, sorry. So I ended up, I believe, with 66 last game week, something like that. And I didn't move up too much, though. I only about like 20 spots. A lot of people had even better players than I did still. So it was a little bit of an increase, and the increases are going to get slower the higher up the standings you get. But yeah, so that's kind of how last week went, but that's what the review video is for. This is the preview video. We're going to go over what the team looks like, potential transfers coming in, and a top 5 for the game week. So let's go to my team. Have not made the transfer yet. I think I know what I'm going to do. And I'll tell you that once we get there. It's just not confirmed yet. Just want to wait a little longer, see how things shake up. And I'll probably end up doing what I said. But Providel and net, not much has changed there. We know Zoet's there to back up. Facing Inter is going to be a tough game. I'm hoping that he gets a lot of shots on target to compensate for goals he might let in. Maybe a lucky penalty save as well. Spezia seem to be conceding a lot of penalties lately. One he saved, then got called back through VAR, then he got scored on last game. Arnautovic, which was super annoying, scored on him through a penalty. So would have been nice to have that clean sheet, but I'm hoping anyway that opportunity is there to get a PK save or just a lot of saves, because I can't really see Spezia holding a clean sheet against Inter coming up. I'm going to keep the double Roma defense still against Bologna. Very possible to get a double clean sheet there as well. If Juventus can't keep a clean sheet against Salernitana, I mean, I guess it's possible. Salernitana is like just another team they've lost to teams around that caliber already this year. But I'm really hoping that Bonucci can get that clean sheet against Salernitana, and maybe, I'm not sure if he's still on penalties. I'll get there in a sec. And then we got Miraru on the defense as well. So Swallow might be a tough game to get a clean sheet, but he's always available for the attacking returns. It's a real shame that I benched him this past week because he got the clean sheet and I missed out on those points. Into the midfield, my team is facing really good fixtures this week. Like, it's kind of nice how well it is, and it's making it really hard to pick a starting 11. Pasalic against Venezia, I sat him last week. It was the correct sit. He didn't even start. He would have just got the 1 point. He didn't end up coming off my bench, but now, based on how well he was playing, I do want him back in against Venezia. I think there's possibility for points there for sure. Insigne, obviously, I'm going to start against Sassuolo. My only issue is he played the full 90 last week, and with quick rotation, he's someone I'm going to have to actually probably think about maybe a little more than I previously did, but now he might not play, but he'll likely get some time, and I don't really want just 20-30 minutes where he might not do anything. He might share a bit of a striking role with Mertens. I'm not sure. Mertens had a great game last week, and he hasn't played that much. To me, Mertens might get a little more time, but I got to be careful that I'm not playing him for like a 10-20 minute sub on. So that might be a bit of a complicated situation I have here with Insigne, but I think I'm going to give him the game. It's hard to sit him. And then Candreva against Fiorentina. As of right now, Candreva's been so good, and he's someone I'm flirting with sitting this week based on everyone else in my squad. I'm really not sure how I'm going to play this out, but he's kind of a fringe, just because Fiorentina's not a bad team, but they also haven't been playing great lately, giving away a 1-goal lead really late to Empoli. So there's definitely potential for Candreva to score. He's been doing really well recently, so it's hard to sit him as well right now. I'm obviously going to play Vlahovic this week. He's just been lights out all season long, basically. And as of right now, he has my captain's armband, which I don't think I will regret in the slightest. Then we got Martinez. Now, what's good about Lautaro Martinez is he didn't start last week, which leads me to believe that he will start this week, and he still got a attacking return last week. So even more potential for attacking returns facing Spezia. If he's the one that causes Providel's clean sheet to go away, I'm okay with that. And then we got Leao, who's been rather disappointing lately, facing Genoa. Obviously, a chance there for an attacking return. Hope he doesn't get sat, because I would suck if he just came in for a little bit based on the other options I'm going to have. Again, another player that I'm thinking maybe bench. But that's how the team's going to line up. I mean, I'd like to have Barella in. But I just think lately he's been the most off form against Spezia. Obviously, an opportunity that he might get an attacking return. But I just think least likely to get points out of everyone that I have. And yeah, I honestly think with all of these players, I think teams will be looking to use all 5 subs. So I think no matter who I start, I think they're going to get some kind of time. I'm just hoping that it's more on the 60, 70 minute side rather than the 10, 20 side. But we'll look at the transfer that I'm thinking of. And right now, I think Pellegrini, I've given him a shot. He's injured. He got re-injured last game, came off really early. I think he's got to go. And originally, I wanted to change one of my Roma defenders to probably an Inter defender. But I think I got to deal with Pellegrini first. And my thought is switching to Quadrado. Obviously, I'd like to go to Dybala, but I don't have the funds for that right now. I'm even on money right now. So I think I'm going to go to him, bank some money, and go to Quadrado, who starts quite regularly. The issue is going to be if I start him or not. Because if I bring in Quadrado, as I am thinking, so that does give me a mil in the bank, which is nice to have. It's just now who do I take out? I already have Barella taken out. I'm almost thinking of sitting Leao or maybe Candreva. That's going to be a hard decision but also Quadrado did just play, so he might get sat himself. So I have a feeling that I may make a decision this week that I regret and bench some valuable points. We shall see. I just hope I pick the right one. But I do think that this is going to be my transfer this week. As for my top 5 this week, going to shake it up a little bit. Honestly, as the fixtures are right now, I got to stick with the Juve Inter Fiorentina theme. And I think number 1 spot just has to go to Vlahovic. No questions asked again. During right now, just again, based on how the fixtures are, you might hear names a couple times in a row looking at the same team. Sorry if I'm not looking at the team that you'd like, but that's what the comments are for. Let me know what you think in the comments. But yeah, I think we got to stick to this Inter, Juve, and Fiorentina team, regardless of what's happened in previous fixtures. Yes, Juve just got shut out against the strong Atalanta team. And like, yeah, they had nothing going forward, and maybe they will continue, but I just think that it's still worth it to invest based on the fixtures in the long run of fixtures that they have. So first, though, definitely I'm saying Vlahovic is almost a must-have right now. So I don't want to based on price. I want to go based on score. And he's just been so consistent. I think he might have the top score in the entire league. I'll check that right after this. But just so consistent. He's a reliable captain I've even found. So that's Vlahovic is my number 1 choice right now for this upcoming week. Number 2, last week I was a little like, oh, who to pick? I think Dzeko is the way to go as far as Inter strikers go. He seems more nailed on than Martinez. Martinez seems to be sharing time with Correa. Now, big reason I'm not subbing out this week is that I think Lautaro should be the one starting this week, as well as he has proved that he can get points off the bench. So Martinez playing for a shorter amount of time outscored Dzeko, which was awesome for me. But I think that more reliable, consistent starter up top for Inter during this run of fixtures may pay off in the long run. And he's over $1 million less. So you save that money that you can spend elsewhere. So I do think Dzeko is the number 2 pickup for this week. Third, I would go with Dybala coming back off injury. And he might have stripped penalties back off Bonucci. A big reason that I got Bonucci, took that 4-point hit last week is because he was on pens. Good fixtures coming up, and I won't get rid of him because of this. But he had pens, and Dybala is generally on penalties. So I have a feeling that now that Dybala is back, Bonucci may not get the penalties. They didn't get a penalty last game, so we're yet to know that. And Bonucci did go 2 for 2 in the game previous. So not 100% sure what's going to happen there. But I do think with Dybala back on pens, the fixtures Juve has coming up, and Dybala has been playing more of a striker role this year. I do think that he would be a good pickup, and that is my number 30 pick. My number 4 I think I kept, and I don't know. I just think he's just been too consistent to ignore now. Çalhanoğlu for Inter, getting 5 or 6, I think it's 5 points a goal. And he's playing on a strong team with good fixtures. I think he's got to be one you look at now. And I don't want to, I want to probably say Morata first, but there's been nothing proven for consistency there this season, despite being a Juve striker with good fixtures coming up. I just think Çalhanoğlu has been someone that has proven that he is going to get returns more frequently than someone like Morata. And so that's why I think this week he would be an excellent pickup if you have the funds for it. 8.1 isn't cheap, especially for a midfielder, but he's just been so consistent since the start of the season, and it's really hard to ignore the production that he's put forward. So that's going to be my number 4 choice. And I'm going to kind of go off this board a little bit for my number 5. I do want to try to shake it up and not say the same names all the time, but I'll be looking at a Torino defender here. And I'm going to be looking at Bremer, who has had great numbers so far for a defenseman. And if I quickly go to my FDR for Serie, we have Torino's next fixtures are Empoli, Cagliari, Bologna, and Hellas Verona before it gets tough again. So I can see it being a good next 4 fixtures for Torino and for Bremer, hopefully getting some attacking returns, but at least picking up some clean sheets. So that's gonna be my number 5 there. So I feel for the next couple of weeks, a lot of it's going to be on the Juve Inter Fiorentina side of things, but I'd like to try to show some recognition to some other players as well. And I think Bremer has been someone a little more under the radar that could get you some big points as a defender. Maybe a little more expensive than you'd want to pay for a Torino defender, but the results are there so far. And I did just want to double check who the top player overall is so far. And yeah, that's confirmed to be Vlahovic. So that makes sense. Zapata's had some great games, and João Pedro. I mean, it's so hard to pick with some of these guys. There's so many great options, some more expensive than others. But yeah, that's gonna be my top 5 for this week. Vlahovic, Dzeko, Dybala, Çalhanoğlu, and Bremer. Okay, hope you like this. Let me know if you agree. Put a message in the comments. Please like and subscribe to the video, and I will see you probably not too long after this for the review video. Take care.